Hello everyone, it's Randy here with you in our new series where we're going to highlight the incredible work that's done throughout this district. There's so many people that make this whole thing happen. And in Washington, it seems that they've forgotten about the real people that do the real work that make the Indiana's 1st District one of the most unique and diverse and productive districts in the entire country. I look forward to working not just for you, but with you in Washington. We're going to make sure that every day we're connecting with the real people of Indiana's 1st District to be the best representative for their interests that I can be every day that you give me an opportunity to work for you.
So in recording the videos today, we're in an industrial area. You might hear some noise. Might have to turn up your speaker at time to hear us talking. But this is the essence of Northwest Indiana. So enjoy the ride with us on this great episode of The Region Works. Hey everyone, it's Randy here with you with another episode of The Region Works. Today we're highlighting the incredible work done right here in East Chicago, Indiana at American Bar Products. I have with me today the owner of American Bar Products, Bill Marsh. So Bill, can you tell us a little bit about how this all started right here in East Chicago, what this plant used to be, kind of the story of how we got to where we are today?
Yeah, sure can, Randy. Thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. It's important that people who are going to be in DC representing us come actually see what's done in the field. So we're glad you're here. I started American Bar Products in 2003 with my father in Pennsylvania. We've got a unique process to make steel bars, and the end markets that we service are military, automotive, agricultural, mining, general machining, manufacturing. It goes to all points in the North American continent, and we interact with a lot of different customers. We were happy in Pennsylvania. Things were going pretty well, but the manufacturing environment changed. The regulatory environment became more difficult. A lot of the businesses in manufacturing in Pennsylvania started to close. And most importantly, the hot mill, the company that melted the steel that we use, closed down. And it had been there for over 100 years. Wow. It was one of the biggest steel mills in the country, had the deepest water port in America. It's called Sparrows Point in Maryland. And they closed it.
So where did that hot mill go?
It's now a casino. It went nowhere. The U.S. decided that instead of having a productive steel mill, that we would rather have a casino in Maryland. And that, I think, is emblematic of what's going on in U.S. manufacturing more generally. We're closing the productive capacity of the United States. We're sending men and women away from high-paying, value-added jobs. And instead, we're importing products and materials that we need from countries that probably aren't our friends and certainly don't have our best interests at heart.
So basically what happened there in Pennsylvania is kind of a microcosm of what's happened here over 100 years in Northwest Indiana, where we went from that strong manufacturing economy of good paying jobs, vibrant communities that had real grit and identity, right there, good American towns, to more of a service-based economy and focusing, like you said, on casinos. We've got a couple here in Northwest Indiana, and I'm not a gambler. They're fun places to go to once in a while, but they definitely don't compare to the type of quality employment that comes through places like this.
There's a sign in my lobby that Mike Rowe, who I had the good fortune of meeting and talking with, gave me.
Yeah.
And it says, "Don't work harder, work smarter." And I would say for 50 or 60 years, there has been an undercurrent of disrespect for people that make things. And I think the results of that are very telling. If you come to East Chicago, if you go to places in Pennsylvania, anywhere in the Midwest or the Rust Belt, you see the effect of that. You see towns that are destroyed, but that still have buildings that at once were beautiful. Even in East Chicago here, there are banks and insurance buildings. And right across the street, a radiator company that's housed in a facade that is beautiful and reflected the richness of our country when we actually made things and did things. And that's gone. And I think a lot of what we're looking for in Washington, D.C. are leaders who recognize what we've lost. And it's just not the companies. It's the life that people had, that we had families. We had healthy families. We had people making things and doing things and feeling good about themselves and their towns and their communities. And those communities reflected it. That's gone. And it's been outsourced not by our people. Our workers work harder than anybody in the world. It's not our infrastructure. We've got amazing infrastructure. It's not our natural resources. We have more natural resources than any country in the world. It's not the size of our market. We've got the best market in the world. It's our leadership. And our leadership, Democrat and Republican, have sold us out. We need new leaders. We need a new direction.
I appreciate that, and I agree with you. My father-in-law worked 42 years as a steel worker at LTV, which no longer exists, of course. But being a steel worker is part of an identity, right? It's part of an identity of a person and a community. When I walk some of these communities in various parades, I always take a moment to really look around and observe. And you think about what it maybe used to be, what it could be, but imagine what it would be if we lost it. This would be a complete ghost town. So I think it's really important that I, as a candidate for Congress, carry with me the story of Northwest Indiana, the story of building communities through these people that make things.
No doubt about it.
And what I want to know a little bit is about the story of this building that we're in here. Can you tell us a little bit of history here?
Yeah, we moved from Pennsylvania in 2015, and when we were looking for facilities, this one stood out. It is extremely well made, and it's got a great location. It's got railroad, so it's got excellent transportation links. 912 is right at the end of the street, so it had everything we're looking for. But the remarkable thing, Randy, is that it was empty. And it's funny, my wife and I still remember we were driving down the street just in front of the building, and while we were looking, a tumbleweed blew across the street. And I think that says a lot about what happened here. Northwest Indiana, as a microcosm in the broader United States, used to be a manufacturing powerhouse. There were, I don't know how many steel mills, major steel mills within a 50-mile radius, and there were manufacturing companies all throughout the land here. But with the outsourcing of jobs and the shutting down of American manufacturing, that all went away. So when I arrived in 2014, I bought the building. It was stone cold empty. And we've been here 10 years now, and we've got 3 businesses, not only the real estate company, which owns the property, the buildings, and the railroad yard in the back, but we've got the steel production facility here. And we started a railroad, East Chicago Rail Terminal, about 3 years ago. And what we're trying to do is bring back American manufacturing. And I can tell you, for the first time in my 20-year steel career, there's a bit of interest. The first 10 or 15 years of my professional life was characterized by outsourcing to China. In every industry event that we went to, there was doom and gloom because another good company failed. Another good company was being liquidated. And inevitably, it was all being sent to China. And I'll ask, is China our friend? Does China have our best interest at heart? Are they a global partner that we're looking to work with, or are they a competitor, potential adversary?
I would call them an adversary in most things.
I think most people would recognize that's absolutely true. Not the Chinese people, who are lovely people, hardworking, and very intelligent, but the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, it says itself that we are their direct competitor. Why are we outsourcing all of our jobs and our companies to a country that doesn't have our interest at heart? In any case, for the first time in my professional career, I can say that there is interest. And maybe it's too small still, but there is interest, certainly from people, certainly from communities, from the local government here in East Chicago. Mayor Copeland's done a nice job, and we're speaking with Gary about how to bring manufacturing jobs back. And the truth is, the infrastructure is there. The working populations are here. We still hold on to enough of the legacy that existed when these facilities went away and closed that we can bring it back, but only just, and I'll give you an example. We have very precise equipment that requires specialized talent in setting them up. It's extremely difficult to find individuals that can do it. The individual that we work with is out of Ohio. 50 years ago, they'd have been all around the area. They're not, they're gone. But the most alarming thing is that when they come, everybody working on the job has gray hair. There's no young guys. And I asked the owner, who are you training? Who's going to follow up in your footsteps? He said, when I go, it's gone. And that has dire consequences for our whole industry, and we can't afford to lose that.
I see that in a lot of places. It's prevalent in my industry in trucking. The baby boomer generation have run the trucking industry for quite a while now, and they're retiring at a rapid rate. That skill level is leaving, that industrial knowledge of things, the ability to solve problems, think on your feet. And while we're doing okay with training some younger people, it has to start earlier, but it starts in these communities like East Chicago, where there's opportunity. When a kid's 6 or 7 years old and sees a bustling community of opportunity to go out of high school and gain a skill, get a job, and invest back in the community they were born in and stay here rather than leave here to find riches somewhere else. I think it's kind of the story of Northwest Indiana, where we had a massive industrial part of our history, and then what we saw was a huge decline, and now it's going to take that vision nationwide to embrace American made again, America first again, right? These are the sorts of concepts that are not controversial. It's okay to do it here, and we should support things that we're doing here.
Not only that, Randy, you brought up a good point. It starts in the community, but I would say it goes even further in that the United States needs to change its order of priority. Insurance is a great business. Being a banker on Wall Street is fine. But the respect belongs far more with the small communities and the individual men and women who wake up every day before the rest of us, put themselves at risk in difficult environments that are not easy to work in, that are loud, that are dirty, that are greasy, that are very difficult. The respect and the gratitude is owed to those people and not the people who wear nice clothes. We need to get back to a mentality of respecting the real workers in the country and not the people who benefit from the stuff that we import from overseas.
So how many people, you took over a plant here or a building that was empty. How many people do you now employ?
Well, we've got about 20 people.
Okay.
But like I said, we're looking not only for further development in East Chicago, but we're looking to bring back targeted industries into Gary as well. Because like I said, the infrastructure's there, the demand is there, the workers are there. For the first time in a long time, the cities and the governments are saying, hey, you know what? Having people in our community that have good, high-paying jobs that make things is a great thing for our city.
What you're seeing here in this story that Bill is sharing with us is a good example of the spirit that I think is going to bring Northwest Indiana back to its glorious economy that we had here at one time, being the leading manufacturing hub in the Midwest. It's not just possible, but if we make some of the right moves, we negotiate some good trade deals that put us on a level playing field, it helps people like Bill here to be able to employ people in our communities, make great American products, compete in the global marketplace, and make sure that American made is something that people see all over this country and all over this world. So I appreciate, Bill, you taking some time with us today to tell the story of your part of the Northwest Indiana economy. I think it's important for us, like you said earlier, as elected representatives, to never forget where the heck it comes from. There is no government money. There's only money of the taxpayers. And whether that money is printed or it's part of the revenue stream, it all comes from people like you that are helping to create a product that can be sold, that creates wealth for you, for your workers, and for the community that you reside in. So I appreciate your contribution to the economy here and believing in Northwest Indiana and moving your family business here, and happy to have you as a neighbor here.
Well, Randy, this country is blessed in that it has all the resources we need, the biggest market in the world, the best people in the world. All we need to bring it all back and live a better life is good leadership, and I'm hoping you get there.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Same.
So once that coil is unloaded, what's the next step on it?
The next step, we're gonna pick it up, offload it, and put it to the rail car.
Okay.
We loading up that rail car right there. We just
Okay.
finished doing that one.
Okay.
So we're on this one.
Yeah, now you got it. I guess playing video games as a kid pays off, huh? How long did it take you to learn this stuff?
You know what? To feel comfortable, like a good week, couple of weeks, like
Okay.
maybe about a week, 2 weeks the most. But you get comfortable, it's just like everything else, you know. You just can't cut no corners or nothing like that.
Did you have some crane experience prior to working here?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
sure did. Yeah.
So this was just adjusting to a new crane.
Yes.
Got it.
So now the new thing for me is now I drive the local. See the locomotive over
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
So that's new. I've been doing that for 3 weeks now, 4 weeks, about a month. Be really careful when you move it this way, because sometimes you see how it likes to swing.
Yep.
The wheels.
Yeah, you don't want it to swing too much.
Right.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep it around. So we put in 3 of them in there, 3 big coils, and put the lid in. It's ready to roll. So you used to be a truck driver, huh?
I still am, yeah.
Oh, you still are?
Yeah. Yeah, 30 years. I run tankers.
Oh, tankers.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. Started that, got my CDL when I was 18.
That's cool. I did what were they called? What was that? It was you know the trucks that they move like flatbeds and everything? It's not a truck, but it's the ones that look like a half, like you can only fit yourself in there.
Oh, yard dogs.
Is that what they call it? Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
yard dogs. Or spotter truck.
Spotter trucks.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But those of us in trucking, it's a yard dog.
Oh, that yard dog.
That's the trucker lingo.
Okay. Yeah.
Like this flatbed here, if you're on the CB, would be called a covered wagon because it's got the cover over it instead of just a tarp. And then when it's empty, they'd call it a skateboard.
A skateboard.
Yeah. Hey, you got a cool job. I think it's pretty neat.
Right?
Yeah.
Something every day is something different. That's
Yeah.
what I can't be in the office. They try to keep me in the office, man. I'm not an office guy, man.
I agree with you.
I gotta stay out here, motivation.
I love
man.
working. I tell people what they can expect of me in Congress is I'm a worker. I'm used to 70 hours a week in my profession. So whoever works with me in Washington better be ready to work
Right.
because we're going to get some work done.
There you go.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for showing me
Oh,
this today, Sal. I
man.
appreciate it.
And good
Yeah,
luck,
thank
man.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, keep working hard.
Oh, you too, man. I don't know
Northwest
if I will.
Indiana's counting on you.
Oh,
Yeah.
You got that right.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
This is your break, and that's pretty much it, man.
So forward, reverse, throttle, brake.
Right.
Doesn't seem all that complicated.
It's not. It's not. First, it's just, but then when you get you'll be ready to roll after that.
So which way are we going?
Whichever way you want. You want to go straight or you want to go back?
You go that way. So you want to go that way, you push it, you push the reverser forward,
Okay.
and then throttle 1,
Pull out.
and then push this.
Oh, I see.
This will release the brakes. Put it all the way.
It's like a parking brake on a truck. I see.
And if you want to go a little faster, you just throttle up.
I don't really want to go faster. Right. I've driven a truck, but never a locomotive, so this is quite the new experience right here.
Yeah, I figured you wanted to give it a shot.
This is great. How old is this thing? It looks like an old machine.
You know what? I think it's like in the 70s or 60s.
So to stop it,
Yeah, you just feather this brake.
feather it.
Yeah. Or if you put it all the way forward, it'll stop.
Yeah.
Other brakes will compress. And,
Okay, so now I'm going to go the other way.
So yeah, so now you just go this way, and then throttle 1, and you go this way.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
That's
that's
fantastic. I love it. This is really cool.
right.
First time driving a locomotive. I feel like a little kid.
Push your horn. Push it towards you.
All right.
You got a
Heck
bell
yeah.
right here too.
Got the little bell.
Oh,
Then you just feather it, yeah.
yeah. And then park.
That thing, yep, real good right there.
Awesome. No, that. How many horsepower under the hood of this?
You know
do
what? I'm not sure. About that, I'm not sure. You know, the guy to talk to about that is he's in Florida right now.
Do you use this to move the rail cars? Is that what this is primarily for? Is just
Yeah.
like a yard spotter, so to speak?
Yeah, well, you know what's like these cars here?
Yeah.
These hopper cars. So they get offloaded by the company over there.
Plastic company, yeah.
And then when they're empty, we put them all together in one track. And basically, and then that railroad over there, the IHB, they come across the street and pick them up.
Okay.
And they deliver the cars to us too.
Got it.
That's pretty much what we do.
This is really, it's got to feel different when you hook onto a fully loaded
Oh, yeah.
set of cars.
Yeah.
So, no, I appreciate you guys sharing your time with me today and give me a chance to experience a little bit of what you do.
Yeah. That's all right.
That's pretty awesome.
Yes, sir.
I have a great deal of admiration for you and appreciation.
We appreciate that.
So many people don't know what it takes to have the lives that they have, but it's people behind the scenes like you guys that are making it happen.
Yeah,
So,
right.
thank you so much. Yep, I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, bucket list check mark. Drove a locomotive. Well, friends, I sure hope that you enjoyed our adventure today. If you or someone else you know would like me to work with you to highlight Northwest Indiana work, our economy, and how we can do better in Washington to make this the powerhouse that it always should be, contact us at info@niemeyerforcongress.com. I look forward to the opportunity to serve you in Washington and to work with you in your job.